Welcome to Borders and Beyond. I'm your host, Paolo. Today's episode is a difficult one, but it's one we must talk about. May 3rd, 2023. A date that started with a lie and ended in bloodshed. A single fake image set off a chain of horrors in northeast India. Ethnic cleansing, destruction, propaganda, and a people, the Kuki-Zo, brutalized, displaced, and vilified. Joining me today is someone who's been documenting this tragedy with courage and clarity, Sunita Aggarwal. She's a human rights researcher and conflict analyst. Sunita, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Paolo. It's an honor, but also heartbreaking, to talk about this. It all began with a lie. A photo of a murdered woman, taken years ago in Delhi, was recycled. This time, it was falsely labeled as a Meitei woman, raped and killed in Churachandpur. The image went viral, outrage followed, but it wasn't organic. It was orchestrated. Within hours, mobs in Imphal were attacking Kuki-Zo homes. Churches burned, people killed. It was calculated, not random.
So the lie wasn't just a spark, it was the trigger, planted with intent.
Exactly. It was information warfare. And it worked. The rage that followed had been waiting. This was the match.
What happened next wasn't just spontaneous violence, was it?
No, it was a blueprint being followed. From survivor testimonies, we learned mobs had lists. They knew exactly which homes were Kuki-Zo. Police presence? Almost zero. In some cases, they watched. In others, they helped. People weren't just displaced, they were erased. Entire neighborhoods vanished in flames.
This wasn't a riot. This was ethnic cleansing, unfolding in real time.
That's right. And yet, it was labeled a clash, as if blame could be shared equally.
Once the photo was exposed as fake, shouldn't that have changed the narrative?
It should have, but it didn't. Instead, the lies grew more sophisticated. Kuki-Zo people were now branded illegal immigrants, forest encroachers, drug traffickers. A false narrative was built to justify the violence after the fact.
Sunita, you mentioned the role of disinformation. But can you help us understand how exactly were these false narratives built? And why were they so effective in justifying this scale of violence?
Like I said earlier, the conflict in Manipur has been characterized by the creation and propagation of false narratives against the Kuki-Zo people. These narratives have been used to justify systematic violence and discrimination. They serve a dual purpose: to dehumanize an entire ethnic group and to paint them as anti-national in the eyes of the nation, to grab their lands and resources, and to establish ethnic dominance. Let's break down these fabricated justifications. 1. The illegal immigrant narrative. Meiteis are claiming Kuki-Zo are foreigners who infiltrated from Myanmar. The truth: the Kuki-Zo people have long historical roots in the region. While some refugees may have fled from the Myanmar junta, branding the entire community as illegal is false and dangerous. This narrative is designed to strip them of land rights under the guise of protecting Manipur's integrity.
That's a powerful clarification, Sunita. Please go on.
2. The narco-terrorism accusation. Meiteis are claiming Kuki-Zo are drug traffickers. The truth: this accusation criminalizes an entire community. In reality, the key figures in Manipur's narcotics trade are Meitei politicians, security officials, and businessmen, some tied directly to Chief Minister N. Biren Singh's circle. The so-called war on drugs targets only Kuki-Zo community, while drug lords walk free.
Wow, that really flips the mainstream narrative. What's next?
3. The forest destroyer label. Meiteis are claiming Kuki-Zo are destroying forests with poppy cultivation. The truth: this ignores traditional agricultural practices like jhum cultivation. It's a smokescreen to justify land seizures under new forest laws.
It's shocking how policy can be used as a weapon. Please continue.
4. The demographic imbalance. Framing. Metis are claiming, by portraying the Kuki-Zo population and their villages as having abnormal growth, the data of the 2001 to 2011 census is highly recommended to their intellectuals to analyze. During the Kuki-Naga conflict, hundreds of Kuki-Zo villages were relocated from Ukrul, Tamenglong, Tengnupal, and Chandil. They didn't vanish into thin air, and their traditional practices have been again ignored deliberately. Real motive: justify ethnic cleansing by framing them as encroachers.
These details really matter. Thank you for unpacking that. Go ahead.
5. The war on drugs excuse. Metis are claiming this is about fighting drugs. The truth: this war is not against drugs. It is against the Kuki-Zo. Chief Minister Biren Singh once theatrically pointed at an aerial map of deforestation in Kangpokpi district and said, "I will declare war on this community." And he did.
That line, war on the community, not drugs. It really says it all. Please finish your thought.
Meanwhile, high-profile Métis drug lords operate without fear. Some even fund radical groups like Arambai Tengol. These narratives are not just lies. They are weapons, amplified by state media, social media propaganda, and government statements. They create an environment where violence is normalized, even celebrated, and that is why we must name this for what it is: ethnic cleansing, sanitized by fiction.
So one lie became an entire doctrine of hate?
Yes, and the media. Many platforms echoed these terms without scrutiny. The narrative became a tool, just like the machetes and the gasoline.
And words matter. If we can't call it what it is, we allow it to continue.
Exactly. Naming it is the first act of justice. Silence is complicity.
Let's be direct, Sunita. Was this ethnic cleansing?
Yes, without question. The goal was to remove the Kuki-Zo community, physically and culturally, burn their homes, burn their churches, erase their presence. It matches every international criterion. And yet, the world looked away.
What did you hear from the survivors?
Paolo, I've sat with women who gave birth in forest hideouts, children who watched their homes go up in flames, pastors who watched centuries-old churches crumble. There is trauma in every syllable when they speak, and yet they are asking not just for aid, but for justice. They're asking the world to acknowledge that they were not the aggressors. They were the targets of a campaign driven by hate and narcissism.
It's gut-wrenching, and it makes the media's silence feel even more cruel. What can be done now? For justice? For truth?
3 things. 1. An international independent investigation. 2. A reframe of the narrative. Call it what it is: ethnic cleansing. And 3. Permanent rehabilitation for the displaced. Not just relief, but restitution. We also need a truth commission, documentation, memorialization.
So the next generation doesn't inherit silence.
Exactly. We have a chance to end the cycle, but only if we act.
Sunita, final message to those listening?
Never underestimate the damage a lie can do, and never underestimate the power of truth to heal. Truth demands witnesses, justice demands voices, and history demands courage. And never forget what truth can save. Truth is not optional, it's survival. Justice is not political, it's human.
And this year,
And now, 2 years later, 3rd May 2025, the Kuki-Zo will commemorate this date as the Day of Separation, a solemn reminder of betrayal, of loss, and of the line that was drawn in blood and memory. Let it be a day the world remembers, not just mourned, but recognized.
Thank you, Sunita, for your voice, your strength, your truth.
Thank you, Paolo, for giving this issue a platform.
To all our listeners, May 3rd was not a riot. It wasn't a clash. It was a calculated, coordinated purge. The lie was the match. The silence was the fuel. And the truth is the only light left to shine. This is Borders and Beyond. I'm Paolo Greybeard. Until next time, stay informed, stay human.